Adventure Kids, it is your friend Christy here. I am very happy to be talking with you today, so listen up, open up your hearts, and let's get ready for some good stuff. Today, we are talking about when you don't feel enough. When you don't feel enough, you can focus instead on the fact that you are a son or daughter of God. How amazing is that? You know, feelings, they are wonderful. I love feelings. I think that they help us to experience the world in such an amazing way. And they help us to create memories as well. It potentially stop us from doing silly things twice. It is wonderful. There are a lot of feelings. What are you feeling right now? Well, let me tell you what I'm feeling. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling silly. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling tired. And I'm feeling happy. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of big feelings all the time. And sometimes it can be very easy to be overwhelmed with them. But we see again and again in Bible times where people have gone to God first and their feelings second. So let's keep that in mind today. We're going to read a Bible story that I'm really excited about. And as we're talking, I want you to think about how these people in this story would have felt and what was going on inside their brains. Okay, are you ready? Let's jump into it. So, today's Bible story comes from Matthew 9. We start with Jesus. He's teaching, he's preaching, he is healing people and making them better, and he's asking people to follow him. Now, in those times, people often called Jesus a rabbi. Can you say rabbi? Yes, okay. Rabbi means teacher in our understanding of it today. And to be a rabbi, you had to know your Bible, and to follow a rabbi and to learn from them, you also had to know your stuff. In fact, they had huge tests all around the first 5 books of the Old Testament that you had to know inside and out. Some people even knew them like off by heart. All of those books. And so here's the thing that I'm trying to say. To follow a rabbi, you had to be pretty special. You had to be pretty clever, and you had to be pretty onto it. And so a lot of people at that time thought that to follow Jesus, you also had to be really special in that way. Now, it's time to introduce our next character. His name is Matthew. Can you say, hello, Matthew? Awesome. Okay, Matthew was a tax collector. Do you know what tax is? Okay, so in those days, the emperor would tell everyone to give them a certain amount of money, and that money would be put aside and used to build roads and do other stuff and probably fund the emperor's feasts as well, let's be honest. Now, we still have tax today. It looks a little different, but we still have it, so you might be familiar with that concept. Tax collectors were people who would collect the tax, collect that little bit of extra money that people had. Now, tax collectors in those days were not well liked. In fact, they were really well known for lying, cheating, and stealing. It was really easy for a tax collector to say, hey, you owe me 10 coins, when actually they only owed 4, and then the tax collector would keep the rest and use it on their food and their drink and their clothes and their stuff. It happened all the time. And so tax collectors were not the kind of person that you really wanted to hang out with. You wouldn't go and talk to them, and you definitely would not invite them to your birthday party, I'll tell you that. And rabbis and teachers often wouldn't even teach them because they were such bad people. So, one day, Matthew is sitting in his tax collector's booth, and who comes along? Jesus. Does Jesus just walk by and ignore him? No, Jesus walks right up to him and says, hey, follow me. Oh my goodness, can you imagine what might have been going on in Matthew's head? Well, I wrote down some of the responses that I think he might have had. What if he was saying, I don't think I know enough of the Bible to do that? What if his mind was saying, but I've been mean to people and Jesus might find out? What if his mind is saying, I've stolen money from people and probably Jesus is mad about that? Or what if he's thinking, if I follow Jesus, I won't get any more money or nice things? What if he was thinking, I'm just not good enough to follow Jesus? Here's the thing. The Bible tells us that Matthew got right up and started following Jesus. Isn't that crazy? He left his money and his tax collection booth and everything, and he started following Jesus, and he invited Jesus around for dinner, and they talked, and from that moment on, Matthew started to learn how to follow Jesus and copy what Jesus did. Isn't that story amazing? Jesus saw past Matthew's feelings of not being good enough. Here's the thing. Matthew might have been thinking in his head, I am not good enough. I can't do this. But do you know what I know Jesus was thinking in his head? That is a child of God. I love him. And that's what Jesus sees when he sees you. He sees a child of God who he loves. Isn't that amazing? Okay, I have 3 points to take us home today. Are you ready? Get your arms ready because I need your help. The first one is, you are not what you feel. Can you say it with me? You are not what you feel. Our feelings are wonderful. They help us. They help us experience the world, but they are not who we are. They're not. Who are we? Child of God, I'll tell you that. Okay, are you ready? Number 2 is, you are not what you've done. Can you do that with me? 3, 2, 1. You are not what you've done. Whether you've had really good choices in your life or whether you've done stuff like Matthew, like cheating or lying or stealing or hitting or punching or saying mean words, all of those things, God sees your past. He sees it. And yet, when he sees you, he sees a child of God. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, and number 3 is this one here. You are who God says you are. Can you hug yourself like you're being hugged by a loving dad? Can you say, you are who God says you are? You are who God says you are. I think you already know what I'm going to say here. Can you say it with me? 3, 2, 1. You're a child of God. Yeah, you're a child of God. I'm a child of God. That's who we are. That's our identity. So, next time that you don't feel enough, I need you to remember a couple of things. But before we get to that, I have a quick story. My sister's dog has a favorite toy. It's a rope toy. It's nothing fancy. It's not a ball. It's not a fancy frisbee. No, it's a rope toy. He loves to play tug of war with it. He loves it when we throw it and he fetches it. He absolutely loves it. Okay, so imagine if this rope toy gets dropped in the mud or lost in the bushes or gets torn apart a little bit by his cute little teeth. Do you think the dog would love it any less? No. He doesn't love it any less. In fact, I think he loves this toy more than he loves me. But anyway, that's a whole other problem. What I'm trying to say is sometimes on the inside, we might feel a bit dropped in the mud. Sometimes on the inside, we might feel a bit torn up. But God sees you, and he sees you as a child of God. Righty-ho, I'm going to tell you some really awesome Bible verses that are going to help us. Next time you feel that you're not enough, that you're not enough, remember these Bible verses. This one here is Psalm 139, verse 13. You created the deepest parts of my being. You put me together inside my mother's body. How you made me is amazing and wonderful. I praise you for that. What you have done is wonderful. I know that very well. I love that verse. This one's from Isaiah 41, verse 10. It says here, so do not be afraid. I am with you. Do not be terrified. I am your God. I will make you strong and help you. I will hold you safe in my hands. I always do what is right. That's how God thinks about us. Isn't that amazing? I love it. Okay. God loves us so much. We are his children. Whether we feel enough or not, we know we're children of God. So, children of God, I will see you around. Keep claiming that over your lives, and I'll see you next time. Bye.